What's up, Skyline Academy? What's up, Scholars Classroom? Today is April the 9th, and this is math class. It's Thursday. So I'm hoping that everyone has had an opportunity to work the 5 problems that I gave you guys yesterday on PEMDAS, and I want to jump into those answers so that we can do a quick review. All right, so you can see here. Again, I gave you guys the answers to 1 and 2, but not 3, 4, and 5. All right, so here for number 1, the first thing that we do is we go inside the parentheses, because that's what PEMDAS tells us to do in the order of operations. So 10 minus 6 gets dropped down to 4, and then the whole rest of the problem drops down. All right, so now we have 8 times 4 divided by 2 plus 4. Now, the first thing that we do, according to the order of operations from left to right, is we do multiplication first. So 8 times 4 becomes 32, divided by 2 plus 4. Now, in the order of operations, division would come before addition. So 32 divided by 2 would give us 16. And we drop the rest down, which gives us 16 plus 4 for a final answer of 20. All right, now for number 2, this is an example of what we talked about earlier about how PEMDAS can be confusing if you memorize it as PEMDAS because it can change. And in this case, it did change to PEDMOS, meaning division came before multiplication. So let's take a look. The first thing we do is we work both of the parentheses. So we have 7 minus 3 becomes 4, and we have 4 plus 6 becomes 10. So that gives us 8 divided by 4 times 10. Now, if you notice, in this case, from left to right, the division problem occurs before the multiplication problem. Therefore, we do 8 divided by 4 first. We do not follow PEMDAS. Instead, we switch this. We follow PEDMOS by doing division first, and so that gives us 8 divided by 4 gives us 2. We drop down the 10, cover that light, and 2 times 10 gives us 20 for a final answer. So hopefully you guys caught that and remembered what we talked about earlier in the week about the importance of knowing which problems come first left to right, which sign to use based on which problem, or excuse me, which sign comes left to first, left to right in the problem. All right, so for our last 3 problems here, we have for number 3, 10 minus 5 equals 5. For number 4, 2 times 10 equals 20, and number 5, 1 times 2 equals 2. Those are the last layers of all 3 of those problems, and if you do not have these as your last 3 layers, then probably somewhere along the way you made an error, and you should go ahead and review to try to figure out why your last layer does not look like this. All right? So, with that, we are going to just talk briefly about what we discussed on Monday when we were talking about reviewing our multiplication problems and the importance of the relationship between division and multiplication. All right, so here we're using the triangle method that we discussed earlier. So we have 24 divided by 8 is 3, and 24 divided by 3 is 8. And conversely, 8 times 3 equals 24, or 3 times 8 equals 24. In both cases, we have a triangle of numbers that are all have a relationship with one another because we're using multiplication and division. All right, so hopefully when you're practicing your multiplication problems this week, you're able to use that triangle to see that relationship. All right, so the assignment for today is I want you guys to go on to iExcel, and you should have been provided with a password. And you can go on there, and I would like for you guys you can search up more of your PEMDAS order of operation problems, but you can also play around with the site and take a look at what they have to offer, because there are thousands and thousands of different types of equations and problems on that site available to you guys. So take a look and see what kind of stuff you guys can find on that site, but please do spend some time working your order of operations so that we stay consistent for the week. All right, so we will check in tomorrow. I hope you guys are having a good night, and I will see you soon.